In this video, we are going to learn more about Bridgetek EVE Asset Builder.
This is a toolchain which can be used to convert any assets required in your application to EVE readable formats. It also allows us to generate flash images for EVE devices which contain onboard flash interfaces, as well as custom touch generation for touch controller support that isn't natively supported by EVE devices. So we can create, this is the EVE Asset Builder toolchain, and we can create a session which relates to the project we're working on. First utility here is an image utility, which we can use to take input image files and convert these into a number of formats, such as ASTC or ARGB1555. Selecting convert will convert the image and produce an output format file. We also have a PNG and JPEG validator. This validates that input PNG or JPEG files can be used directly with our command load image command, one of the lower level EVE commands. And this allows you to load images without having to convert them. We have a JPEG optimizer as well, which can optimize JPEGs for size or quality. If you want to store these on, for example, program memory on your MCU or flash on your MCU, you can change their size. Next, we have a video converter. This allows us to convert MP4 and AVI files into an EVE readable format, which can then be played back on the screen via the command play video command. Next, we have an audio converter, which allows us to convert MP3 files into audio files, which can be played back on EVE via the audio interface via simple commands. We have a font conversion utility, which can take input font files such as TTF or OTF files and then convert these into EVE readable formats so you can have custom fonts. This also allows us to support multiple languages such as Chinese or Japanese characters, presuming the input font file also supports these. So then we can create a conversion which includes these characters and print them out on the screen. For example, it also gives us some bitmap formats that we can choose, such as ASTC or L8 to L1, and these just gives us different sizes. Next, we have an animation converter, which allows us to take GIF images and convert these and play them back as animations on EVE panels. And this is good for splash screens. We have our flash generation utility here. And this allows us to add graphics assets, such as custom fonts or images. For example, we'll add an image here into a binary image, which we can generate and then program to attach flash devices for the BT81X or BT820. You can use a USB to SPI or Raspberry Pi Pico to interface to EVE with this utility. For example, here we're using the 4222 to detect flash via the EVE chip. We can then program or read back the attached flash as required. We have a flash diagnostic tool. And then moving on, we have the disassembler. This is useful for taking raw SPI captures of the bytes issued to EVE over SPI and converting these into a human readable format. This is useful for debugging your SPI captures to ensure you're sending the right commands to EVE. Next, we have our custom touch firmware generation utility. This allows us to compile custom touch firmware patches, which will allow support for touch controllers which are not natively supported by EVE, therefore expanding the amount of LCD screens that can be used with EVE. We have an asset compressor, which can take assets and compress them, and then these assets can then be inflated into EVE's graphics memory using the command inflate option. This is useful if you're not storing assets on the attached flash, and perhaps you're storing them on the MCU's flash. Similarly, we have a validator and decompressor tool in here to ensure that these can be valid or decompressed. Finally, we have a binary to C conversion utility. This is useful for taking, for example, output conversions from images and placing these into C arrays, which can then be pasted into your source code. For example, let's convert the image here, the raw image output that we have, and this will create a C file, which we can open in our preferred IDE or text editor. And as you can see here, it's generated the data into a large array.
Elevate your user experience with Bridgetek. It's easy with EVE.